Welcome back, like kings, queens, and in-betweens to another Should You Watch video here on the channel. We're continuing our trek into the winter 2025 anime season with Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You, our first romance that we've talked about, I believe, of the season.
Yes.
And the first romance that we watched this season, I believe. And this is a kind of a love triangle kind of show where it takes place during the pandemic, essentially. Without them saying it's that pandemic, it is that pandemic, basically. For the most part, because it takes place in 2020 and they specify it takes place in 2020 in the description of the anime. And you have Mizuho, who is depressed that her family forgot her birthday and she can't do anything because of this disease that's going around. And she gets a love confession from one of her friends, and that kind of both picks her up and also confuses and scares and makes her anxious.
All of those things.
Yes, but one of her other friends may also like her, and that's where our premise kind of lies.
But only one, probably, potentially.
Yeah, because I think the other two like each other. So it's one woman and four guys is the core cast, but the three that we're mostly focusing on are Mizuho, Kizuki, and Shin, and those are the three that are really the focal point of the story. So what are your thoughts?
So this is a very basic premise, but kind of done in reverse. Usually you'd see a male protagonist with a bunch of females, but this is a female protagonist with four childhood friends that she grew up with. And what I like about this one is it's going to add a lot of drama because we got four main bros up in this situation. I think the main issue that Mizo, they sometimes call her Mizo, and I got very confused because I'm like, that's a soup, is facing is that she doesn't want the dynamic between herself and her friends to change if she were to pursue any of the guys, which is something I feel like we've seen in a lot of other romance where there are friends involved. We've even seen it in like Love is Indivisible by Twins.
That's the one that this one gives me the most like flashbacks of.
And the other thing that her friend brought up is that she might not even be able to recognize whether or not she has feelings if she's willing to pursue them because she's so close to these people and so used to this specific dynamic. And then the other added layer is that Kizuki was kind of the youngest crybaby in the group. So everyone, especially Mizo, views him as the younger brother of the group, and she struggles to see him as a potential partner. And I kind of like those added conflicts that she's going to be forced to explore because, yes, we get the whole, tried and true friend dynamic drama that everything seems to do, but we also have these other layers that complicate matters. Kind of appreciate those added complexities. The things that I don't like are the style kind of goes back and forth between being like really pretty and just seeming like it kind of gave up halfway through trying to animate things. Like, I feel like the water always looks funky.
I thought the water looked interesting, but because it's like over a background underneath it, and it's animated in an interesting way. I know you also don't like, and you commented several times, but the people that are just made of polka dots.
Yeah, that struck me as strange.
They're not fully colored in. It's because they don't matter. They're background characters, so you just don't have to color them.
No, I get that.
It saves time.
But it's very like startling when you have this distinct anime image and then you have something you see in a lot of Western comics where it's just polka dot people. And it's like, okay, realistic-ish scene, but anime and then polka dot people.
I also think a lot of times they do that because they don't want to make the characters that are the focal point so outlandish looking that they stand out in a crowd all the time. But they're just going to look like the rest of the crowd. So you just have like a whole bunch of characters on screen. You can easily pick them out because they're the ones that are in color. And so you don't always have to have them, they don't have big spiky hair and all this and whatnot. So you can always pick them out.
They're not going Super Saiyan?
Yeah. I like the dynamics between the characters. I am not the biggest fan of love triangles in general because I kind of just want to have the romance just be experienced as a romance and see it progress. And I feel like it just throws complication in, which is why it's there to throw complication in, but it gets in the way of the progression of the romance. So when you're watching it week to week, especially, it's frustrating because it's like we could have gotten here where we are at the end of the episode, the start of the episode, if we didn't have this little wrench thrown in there. But that was one of the reasons why I liked, what was it called? Sign of Affection, because there was no real love triangle aspects to it except for like one episode. or 2 episodes where it actually was a stumbling block because you had the friend of the one and then the friend on the other side, but it wasn't really getting in the way all the time. And I feel like this one's it's gonna happen a lot and it's gonna get in the way. But I do enjoy the progression that we've gotten in 3 episodes, and I think it's gotten a decent way.
I think this triangle, more than just being like just the 2 people being in love with the same person, is going to be a test for this human. Like, what does she value? What does she really want in a partner? And it's going to be like a tale of self-discovery in addition to the romance, which I think is better than just throwing a triangle in there to complicate things.
Yeah.
That's the one redeeming quality I can see to this triangle potentially. Or if we're off and the other 2 are also interested in her love pentagon. Has there ever been a love pentagon before?
I'm sure there has. Well, there's, what's it called? Quadriceptual quintuplets.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, it's literally like in the name, basically.
Well, I mean, there's 5 people in love with the one person. So really, isn't that
before? So yeah.
The
Sectagon?
I can't pronounce. I should know. Sept is 7.
Whatever.
So, yeah, whatever. Numbers.
I don't think the other 2 are going to be into her. I think they view her as a sister, and I think they're into each other.
That's your final guess.
Yeah, that is my final guess. I think it's going to be like what you get in Whisper Me a Love Song, where there's the little triangle area, and then there's the 2 that like each other, but just in the other version.
So just a line and a triangle.
Yeah, a line and a triangle.
Maybe the line will go through the triangle to mess things up.
You just need a circle in there, and you make the Deathly Hollows. So that's what they're going for. They're gonna introduce the circle at some point. It'll be like episode 9. And so I'm gonna continue watching the show. I think it's a decently put together show. I think the character designs are nice enough, and I want to see where it goes.
I do too.
I feel like she should end up with Kisuke. That's the Misuke is my ending ship.
Okay, all right.
Or Kizuho. Kizuho is my end ship.
Elaine has died and can no longer take part in this episode.
Are you going to continue watching it?
I'll watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested to see where it goes. My big concern is that they're going to lean too much into the drama and that it's going to slow down a little too much.
Yeah, there's always that danger. And they might split time too much between the 2 sides when it should be just progressing down one way. So we'll see how it goes. Something that you should see how it goes every time it comes out is this Should You Watch content here on the channel. Like the video if you're liking it. Comment down below. Let us know, what other anime should we be watching? Are there other romance anime that are airing where we should add that to our list of anime that we're consuming so we're not just watching isekai most of the time?
But isekai is so much fun.
This season we're actually not watching any isekai really. But are we?
No, but we will soon. Don't worry.
Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this content going forward, and ring that bell so you know what's up. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.